Hey, Chris.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing, Tony?
Good,
Uh,
good.
Appreciate you guys and you ladies and gentlemen tuning in tonight, man. We're excited to have a special episode tonight on Friday when we usually do them Thursday because we have none other than city and community activists and a well-respected young man in Elyus Wallace joining us tonight. We have some things we want to talk about that needs to be put out there to the public. So we're going to dive into that in a second. But first, Mr. Wallace, go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know who you are for those that might not know who you are.
All right. Well, first I want to say my name's Elyus Wallace. I'm a lifetime resident. Been here all my life. Grew up and raised by the community. I I do community active stuff from working with organizations. I've been on the school board. I've worked with city council, a volunteer firefighter for 16. So my whole life has been serving the community because the community gave a lot to me. So that- I'm everywhere.
Born
Football,
and raised,
everything.
right?
Born and raised. Everybody knows.
Right,
And
right.
I want to say thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, of course, of
Just to
course.
be clear at the start of this right now, because I know a lot of people are wanting to know what's going on. I just
Mhm.
wanted to let people know I'm speaking as a private citizen. Okay, I'm speaking as a private citizen, and I'm only going to reference. And the only reason why I'm here is because y'all did some good research and found out some good stuff. And so
Mhm.
I will be referencing public available reporting and policies that y'all were able to find to
Correct.
help explain what's going on.
Right.
We're going those here listening. We're going to take a little history lesson, but that history lesson is going to tell you why our city is where it is today, and that's what I'm gonna give y'all. It's a cup of tea.
Yep, appreciate it. Appreciate it. So, Elias, let's start off right. Okay, so we're talking about for city council and all that stuff. What's going on in Winchester, right? So, thanks for being here first and foremost.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Takes a lot, to
Hey,
go out in public
before
here
we start, I
and
got
go live. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just got people are texting me saying that they can't see me or hear me on YouTube. That
Hmm. They can't see you or hear you.
on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because you can only see Tony right now.
Oh, really?
Now you can't see either one of you.
Huh. I wonder what happened. Interesting. Well, give me a second. Let's see.
Technical difficulty. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, right. Right.
On
Let's see.
Facebook, you're good, but on YouTube, you guys are like, it only shows the middle of you both. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just the
There we
K.
go.
You know what I
All
It's
right.
mean?
it's better now, but you
All
still can't see but half of Elias. There you
Yeah,
go.
right. Just
right. They don't need
everyone. I
they,
don't have the best
yeah,
camera, but
yeah,
can everyone hear us at least? Everyone, before we say everybody can hear us, right?
yeah. I
We
can hear
we
you.
have some comments coming in
Yeah.
already.
So it's
Oh
like
yeah.
Facebook's
Hey,
fine,
hey, how you guys doing out there? So
right?
let's jump right back into it. Let's not. Everybody's been waiting. I want to get this over with. So
like like the rest of us.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's go. So what were you asking, sir?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all right, let's start off with before we get into any specific situations,
Right.
and they like why does government structure matter to regular people?
Well, let me start off say because structure determines who has authority, who has oversight, and who gets heard. When people feel frustrated or shut out, they usually not about one decision. It's about how the system, which would be
Mm,
system, is designed to respond to that concern.
right. Okay, Chris, you got anything? No. You eating cotton candy? All right. So how at a high level, how is Winchester's government supposed to work? That's
You got me teaching. You got me. All right, I'll do this. So how is it supposed to work on a high level? We as citizens elect city council. The city council's job to represent the citizens,
mm,
and they also are in charge of two hires. They're in charge of hiring the city manager,
mm.
who runs the day-to-day operations for the
Run
city.
everything. People don't know
Everything. Your
that.
city
Like,
manager's in charge of your public works, your police department, fire department, social services. That position is in charge of all that, and that person runs the day to day, and city council does what the oversight of that
right.
that. So
Mm,
that's how that works at a high level with Chester.
okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, so let's get right into it. It's like I want to read directly from the Winchester Star, everyone. All right, so we're going to get into some facts here, doing some research. So this is from an article titled "Council Cool to investigation of city manager. The article opens with this line, and I quote: City Council has made it clear that it has no intention of investigating City Manager Eden Freeman's handling of Winchester's Fire and Rescue Chief William A. Garrett.
Woo, that's an oldie but a goodie.
We're going back.
We're going back, but that's a good start. It's a good start to start there. It's a good start there. That saying that there was a situation that happened with one of the departments there. Chief Garrett was the newly fire chief, had been here 6 months.
And this is back when I forgot that what
2020,
2020, right?
Yeah, November 2020, and he had some issues with the city manager, department heads, and he had filed grievances and did a lot of things. And when it came down to it, the only last option you had when the system wasn't listening was go to council because, as I said, city council is kind of the oversights.
Mm-hmm.
So he took his case to city council, and to be honest with you, city council heard his case, saw what he presented, and then they went and decided that they didn't want to be an investigative body, that they didn't want to get into that.
Right.
And I want to let them people know how important that decision was made that day when they decided they weren't going to be an investigative body. They weren't going to look into what the city manager does. They wanted to trust, but not verify, which is simple enough. But what that does, that created silence. It rewarded silence. It means that us as people, no longer have a say through our council on what the city manager does. And that's the same person who controls all the department heads. So if you have an issue, whether you're an employee or even if you're a department head with the city manager and you want to file complaints and want to get your voice out, it goes right back to the same person that your complaint goes to, and there's no over. They made it where if it's that bad, you need to take it to the court system.
Right.
And
oh, you're good, Chris. You're back.
Yeah.
No, you guys are breaking up.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, like you can hear some of it and then not some of it.
What'd you
I don't know, man. See, everything seems to be working on my end. So we're breaking up.
I don't know. Somebody from the comments can say something. That just from what I hear.
It looks good.
Okay.
Somebody just commented it looks good. I can hear everything.
Okay. And so
okay, good.
So when you asked about why that was so important that day,
right?
When they made that decision. Now, I'm gonna say, I don't think that when that time when council made it, they made it with the intent of thinking that would happen, but that's what ended up happening there, and we are feeling the effects of that because to this day, our council, if something really went awry, like it in that situation did, they don't have the power to investigate. They have no power to do anything.
Right, correct. Which is not a good thing.
As the citizen said, I mean, as a citizen, I didn't vote for that. And this doesn't even affect the citizens. It affects our small business people.
It affects everything.
It affects everybody.
Everybody.
If you have a problem with city management at the top level or mid level, fire department, social service, all that, and you file a complaint and it gets to the city manager, and the city manager says, not going. I think everything's fine. I think the way it was handled is fine.
Right.
And you told your council, and they literally are like, we can't really investigate it. That promoted silence.
Right. Correct. Yeah. So I'll move on to the article. It says the same article also quotes Council Vice President Evan Clark, who said, and I quote, I think I can speak for the entire council, have complete faith in Eden Freeman. And how does that fit into the bigger picture?
That is a very, 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 very.
As we say, everybody, this is facts we have found.
Yeah. This is old council. So Evan Clark was.
That goes back to the Garrett files.
Yeah. And this goes. Evan Clark was Ward 2 representative, and when he made that statement, and that statement came before any independent review or of conflict accounts. So literally, they said trust, replace it, verification. That's not about intent. It's about a process. And that's why I can say today the system's broken. Because they gave full trust to somebody, Eden at the time. And I'm not talking about a specific person or anybody's person. I'm talking about the position. And they gave the city manager trust without verification. And that's what I say. We don't have a vote because there's no way to verify. They don't want to verify if they get new facts or evidence that said that something was wrong.
There's no voice for the people down there.
As of right now,
And you say it in a nice way, Elias. You know what I mean? It's broken, but it's corrupt. It's
and I,
corrupt, and it's sad to know that it's happening back home too in my hometown, man. But no lie, this stuff needs to be brought to light. And there's certain individuals that after we're finished with this show, that they can go out there and find this information. It's all online, everything we're talking about, and you know what I mean. We're gonna
yeah,
need people to get involved if
no,
they're gonna help make a change down there.
and hearing you saying corrupt and I say broken, it doesn't matter what you say. See, when what happens when the people voices got silent,
Right.
their concerns and anger and their voice has to go outwards. It has to go somewhere. And it ends up going on social media, Facebook, newspapers, podcasts. That's where it goes.
Right.
And that's not a government you want. And you can take that example if you think I'm right and talk about that incident. Can we put it to today's world? What we're dealing with in our city now.
Right.
I watch enough city council people and see people go up there and say, I feel like y'all are silent.
Yeah.
So this is not me making this up. I will challenge this to anybody that goes to city council and says the policies are there. I will challenge anybody to go to their city representative and say, are you willing to redo that decision you made to give our power back to investigate the city manager?
Correct. And that's hey, that's what we're here for right now.
Mhm.
So continuing, Elias, we'll keep going because it's going to get deeper and deeper.
I know.
The article also describes council being asked whether it should create a policy allowing it to investigate complaints against the city manager or city attorney, and council said no, which I think you've already referenced. So why is that important?
Which, like I said, once they said no, they rewarded
Right.
silence.
Mm-hmm.
And when you reward silence, what you just told all the department heads in the future and past future, they find positions. They're going to be quiet. They're going to commit to the silence because that's what's being passed on. And this is 2020. This happened, and we're talking what 2026, and we're starting to feel the effect of that.
Almost 6 years later, because I think it all started like November, right, or February.
Yeah. Well,
so yeah, 6 years, February of 2020.
So
or something.
you see the silence is happening, and this is also after we had new council people on city council. So it's not one person that can change city council. It's not two. It's the system is broken.
Well, it's that's why we're doing this. It's the citizens themselves. We need to make change.
Yeah.
So correct. Yeah, and get our voice back. So let's talk about this grievance policy for a moment. How does that fit into this? That goes back to the Garrett situation. Yeah.
Well, under the city's grievance policy, department heads are excluded from the grievance process. And when I say department heads, that's your police chief, fire chief, social service director, etc. And they're excluded from that. It goes directly to the city manager who makes the final decision. And as I said earlier, council isn't involved. So that structure rotates concerns back to the same place of authority.
Right.
So that's why it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Way too much power for the city manager.
All the power.
Exactly. That's crazy. There's no way that, you know what I mean, everybody else can do their job the right way and make a difference if they don't have any power. Like you said, there's no voice, there's no power by anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Something's got to give.
Well, I felt like when y'all found all this information out and y'all came to me because I'm close to the fire department, and you said corrupt earlier. I don't feel it's corrupt. I feel it's broken, but I can see people say the system is corrupt because it's silent. They can't get no answers. Transparency is not happening. And the only way to get transparency, you have to FOIA. That's how you get your voices heard. You have to ask our council people the hard questions. They have to go under the white light and say, hey, is this true? Is what Mr. Wallace saying is true? Y'all found the documents.
Right. Correct.
Y'all two
Yeah.
found it.
We'll post a lot of it too after the show, but everything on those documents we're posted because it's all public information. So it's not like it's something that's hidden.
Everything we
Yeah.
found old from Winchester Start. Yeah, a lot of it.
And one of the credits I give, y'all even to find the article and then actually archive back to Winchester and find the council work session where they took away the voices.
Right.
Where they literally unintentional. I don't think they intentionally knew what they were doing. I think they were under pressure of some things and thought this would be a way to fix it. And
Right.
it turned out it wasn't a bad call. It was a bad call.
Yeah.
Looking back.
In
now.
the end, yeah. Looking back, yeah. Right. So let's get into this Garrett case, Elias.
Ooh. Y'all really
Yeah, we dug it up.
Y'all
Yeah,
really trying to
the Garrett files.
I bet the Garrett fight.
y'all call it the Garrett files.
No scrubbing on this end.
I can promise you
But-
right now.
Because it needs to be spoken about, and it needs to be reinvestigated. That's my thought on it after reading everything.
Right,
I think there's a lot of firefighters right now who are probably jumping up with joy that
right.
I get to talk about this.
Well, good. Hey, we're bringing it back to the light. All right. So, like I say, it brings us to another Winchester Star article, again titled "City Fire Chief, I feel I am being disregarded." I want to read one of the quotes, from that piece in that article. Fire Chief William A. Garrett is quoted as saying, "Two of the members, John Piper and Perry Eisenhower, expressed hostility towards me specifically profanity and hatred-laced response about my actions on November 12th, 2019. This was witnessed by all parties in the room." So where's those witnesses?
Yeah. What happened to all of that?
Article matter in the context of everything we've been talking about.
Well, it's very important. It goes to show now, Garrett was the first person to challenge, to rely on the system to correct the wrong. And because it shows what happens when the system is tested.
Right. And this was all over, right? Because Garrett introduced.
Garrett is the fire chief.
But what he brung to him, right? How this all started with what the PTO or what?
Yeah.
For
and
the
what
firefighters.
it was, I guess the backstory,
right?
Because it's so long ago, I figure everybody knew about it. But what the backstory is, Chief Garrett was the first black fire chief we had, and he was only been here for he just got here. He was only been here 6 months, and there was already a PTO with paid time off controversy with the fire department and trying to get it to be right with city government and try to fix it so it didn't lose more firefighters. I have to give credit to Alan Ballinger, the president of the fire union. If you want to know more, reach out to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he worked hard today to try to make sure council was well informed on the decisions they were getting ready to make could cost a losses in our firefighters, and we were already hurting from that.
Right.
So at that council meeting, which I know y'all have that council meeting, so I won't bore you to death.
Public knowledge.
Yeah. At that council meeting, before the decision was made, city council members at that time started questioning it and started listening to Alan Ballinger, and then they asked Chief Garrett right on the spot, "We passed this policy. Do you need more time?" And Chief Garrett said, "I need more time to make sure this is right." And they allowed him more time. And that by him saying I needed more time and stood up for the citizens and stood up for his fire department changed. That's when history was changed, guys. That's when this grievance policy started, because I think y'all have some other articles and things. You said something about he quoted that meeting. Okay.
Yeah, I think we got them quotes, I think.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was after that meeting, Gary, this is all in the article. This is articles. They're pointing me to different articles, but to the article. But after that meeting, Chief Gary had to go to another meeting with the department heads and to discuss the idea of what they can be doing. And when he came out of that meeting, the department heads that were involved went to the city manager and filed a complaint about his actions in that meeting, which Chief Garrett at that time was sent home. We remember this article showing he was sent home. First they said it was for vacation, then it turned out it was decision day, but he was sent home for speaking up. And his words was speaking up for his department and speaking what he did at council. And his quotes was, John Piper, I think, used profanities, what he said.
Yeah, it's back pretty much right here.
Yeah, he said it was profanity that was used towards him, hostility, and all these hatred-laced words. Yep. And he filed the grievance policy. He sent it to the chain of commands up to city manager. Mm-hmm. And when it got to the city manager was kind of like, I'm not buying it. And took the words of the other people and not his words. And he fought it all the way. Like, he kept putting grievances in, to the point it got so hostile in the council meetings that Garrett did the only thing he knew how to do, and he sent it to council. He sent all the evidence that he had to get his voice off and ask for council to look at the evidence, what we
Right.
talked about earlier.
Mhm.
And I know y'all got quotes and stuff, and y'all add some quotes in there. But when he did that, the council left speech at the time, Mary left speech, Mary
Right.
speech now.
Mhm.
The council left speech saw something and asked for an investigation to be done, and that's where we led on to. That's what led on to the council deciding not to do an investigation.
Right. Right. Correct. So, Elias, later in the same reporting, Garrett wrote to council, which,
Yeah.
and the article quotes him saying, "It has been 50 plus days since you responded to my request to evaluate the decisions by the city manager. I feel I am being disregarded," which, you basically said that. So that's quoted in the Winchester Star as well. So what does that signal to you?
Well, the phrase "I am feeling disregarded" is powerful because we can. I'm sure people today can relate to Garrett's feeling, even if
He has no voice. He wasn't being heard, and
Right.
to me, it seems like they kind of swept it under the rug. Now, what's the reason for that?
well, that's the reason why it's powerful. Not because it provided anything, but because it reflects what happens when people don't get answers, and that feelings isn't limited to one person. What happened when he gave it to council and they they weren't listened. He felt disregarded because what
Right.
happened when he said that was after they took away the right to investigate. They did my investigation.
Correct.
They did. He's like, what did I do so wrong that the council doesn't want to investigate? So
Right.
I'm going to go on my. I'm going to step out here and say this to the public. Garrett recorded all his conversations with the Sid in that meeting. Garrett
So,
recorded all his conversations with the city government at the time.
right.
And
And
those recordings are out there somewhere.
so if we get down to it, he just openly, you read it, council all got it. He sent all that to council, which makes it public record. So it's for you, but if somebody wants to go get it. And he sent it to council. So then you have to ask if the council openly says we saw it. At that time, I think it was our mayor, Smith, said that we got your complaint, we're going to investigate it. What made him come out and say, we're not going to investigate the city manager or city attorney?
Yeah, makes me wonder what's really on those recordings.
I can't say what was on. All I can say is that's why that body decided not to investigate the city manager and change the policy. The city manager, all power leads to the city manager. I want to say, I
Yeah.
don't want to get down this rabbit hole that it was intentional. People go look at the articles, go for your council people, because that's what FOIA is for transparency. But that's why we don't have transparency today, because Chief Garrett challenged the system, met the system where it needed to be met, had evidence, and understand and gave it to council. When council chooses not to look at the evidence, it chooses to say we're going to ignore it. They did unintentionally or intentionally, I'll say unintentionally, created science by giving the city manager that position unchecked power.
So we'll quote this last quote in that article, as you're talking about the investigation, because the article also notes that Council President David Smith responded by saying, "Please rest assured that Council has not forgotten and is not ignoring your allegations." But the next day, Council held a public discussion and made clear it would not investigate. So,
That's what happened.
And that was with Piper. That was with Sullivan. That was with Kim, right? That was with all them. Leach. They was all. I say Leach. They was all in there. Why did they stop?
At that time, the council members that were on council at that time, they're on council now, was Corey, Les, and Kim.
Oh, sorry, what was it? It's a fan has a question. How many people applied for city manager position? Do you know, or are you obligated to ask? Just how many applied? You have to name names.
I will tell you, there's mixed numbers out there through transparency. Like I said, silence. I'm against three.
Three, so maybe
three. But once again, this is where
back to that. Now, was it voted on? Right.
Well, the articles are out there to vote on, and this is where you see where the past, the history. And I want people to know, I'm not trying to dig this up to say we need a hash. This is Garrett's case is a case study to me. Like this is a case study of where things go wrong and people make mistakes. Because remember, your council people are human too.
Right.
I mean, they're not perfect. I was an elected official on the school board. I know I didn't make all the perfect decisions, but there's one decision I never made. And anybody on the school board or any residents that had to deal with me, I never kept the public out of the board. I did not let the public lose their voice. This, they probably didn't think about at the time. This is why we lost our voice. You have no voice. So to your answer of how many people applied, I would say go ask your councilman.
Right.
See if they should, ask them who applied.
They should answer the question. Like, right?
Yeah, I'll ask you guys to ask the councilman. How come you guys down in Winchester didn't even know about it?
What? Oh, like who ran or whatever?
They didn't know. Yeah, I feel like they didn't know anything, and everything was just
like
behind closed doors, and then boom, this guy's given this position all this power, uncontrolled power. Like
that goes to, do we have a voice? You know, the
public.
It
goes to show, and
the citizens.
Garrett had these complaints, and you read his article, and he said I was being disregarded. He was one person, his department, voicing for his citizens what he was here to do, and his fire department. And the top person, city manager Eden, at that time, shut it down. Unmistakably, one of his statements was after he did all that, and these guys got it down here so you can see it, and he grieved it. One of his grievances is, you make me, he had to go meet with Piper to get counseling on how to be better. Right. After he already stated that he felt that they used profanity and hatred language. Why would you send somebody that already has an open issue with somebody and say that's the person that's going to be your mentor and you got to listen to him, or you don't have a job for the next 3 months?
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson asked if Piper had a master's and in that field, and there's somebody else that said John Piper does not have a master's degree.
And then I want to keep people on. I know everybody's like Piper. It's not about it. We can talk about Piper all you want. It's the position, guys. It's the system.
Yeah, we're talking about the system.
The system. It's the system. I get what you're asking, but to your question, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if the system ain't gonna check who is in there.
Yeah.
I don't care if Eden had a degree, Dan Hoffman had a degree.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you put in there. They have unchecked power.
Right. And then real quick, okay, one fed Mike Jenkins, welcome on. He said, oh, he did go, and he said it would not be public. I think he's talking about when he asked who ran for city manager, if I'm correct. So he said he already asked.
Yeah. And it might not be. I don't know. I do know that how many people, and I'll ask this in businesses, because I worked with a lot of these small businesses in here. Gotta get a shout out to Silverberger because they know we were trying to work things with the I won't call it a rain tax, so Richard Bell don't have a cornea. The worst sewer tax. I was there when they bought a group of people, and I want to give a shout out to Emily Window, Ward 2 representative, because she put something together because she wanted the small businesses felt like their voices wasn't being heard.
Right.
So she put a group together, and she worked hard, and she set it up, and unfortunately, she set it up for these businesses can have their voices heard. But I'll let her tell it. I'll let someone else tell it. But certain people showed up to her event, took it over.
Correct.
And once again, their voices didn't get heard.
Yeah.
And this is that right there is the sidebar. So we'll get back on
right. Well, I'll touch on some of these comments. For like, here, Milburn, he said Winkstar said 49. I guess that applied for city manager, and they narrowed it down to 10 and interviewed 3.
There you go. So I was right. There was 3.
There you go.
Let's find out who the 2 other were.
Yeah, let's find that out.
No rush into
but
it.
But yeah, appreciate everybody commenting and tuning in tonight as well. Yeah, I love it. Appreciate your all's feedback. So, Elias, all right, connecting to the citizens, right? So, you said this phrase, I feel I am being disregarded, applies to citizens today. How so?
Well, that's a powerful phrase.
You know, that you said it's already
it's a powerful phrase from Gary. Right? I mean, I can't say it enough if people are hearing what I'm saying. And y'all did a great job. Like y'all went and found this information that's out there, public knowledge. It goes to show that it's not about one person. It's about the system. It's about the
No,
power
I
that's
agree.
given
It's
to
not
one
always.
person.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I
how
agree.
that feels is when I sit there and watch citizens go up to the microphone and express their feelings toward something and you express it.
Mm,
And I feel bad because council knows that they can't really do anything. They
right.
won't tell you that, but I'm being honest, they can't do anything. I mean, the Sims, it's there. They'll have it before you put it up there. They can't really oversight the city manager.
Right. So what needs to be done with that? Like
Well,
how's the system need to be fixed in your
if
opinion?
here's how the system.
Should I put it that
This is
way?
my this is my the system is fixed through us. We the citizens have the power. If we want our voices heard, we have to hold our council people accountable.
Okay.
One of
Yeah.
the first things is yes, much painful it may be, we need to find out what happened with Garrett, what was given to them back then that made them make the decision. Because what you not only just baffle the citizens' voice, you also baffle new councilmen's voices. We got new council people on there that voices are being baffled because the system says they can't talk about things.
Right. Right.
So we can
Yeah.
change it by A, getting 5 councilmen to read back your powers, get back our powers.
Yeah. Take back the power.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
They know
Right,
where to go
right.
to get it and say, hey, we need to bring this topic back up. And we need to say, council, can we make this policy better so we have oversight?
Right.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
And the other step is to find out what this public record to find out. If I was a new councilman on board and I was trying to make things right and I'm hearing this and I'm like, you know what? I feel like my voice is being unheard.
Right.
We should get together. We should actually find out. I mean, there's 3 council members on there now. You can ask them, what did they see? Especially Les Beach. I said, ask Les.
Let's
Les
speak
wanted
on
to investigate.
them council members. Right? Can I
Go ahead.
call it
Like him, Kim, and Corey.
Corey Sullivan?
Mm-hmm. And remember,
Les Beach?
Corey's president Sullivan.
He's what?
President Sullivan. He's the head of council.
Corey Sullivan. And so my president. So anyway, but all jokes aside, Corey, Les, and Kim, right?
They're very important because they were the
That's what I
original.
would ask. Why are those 3 that are? That's not all of them, but why are they so important
Because
in this right now?
they were there for the Garrett situation.
Correct.
They
Yep.
were there to make the decision. Les Beach is probably the biggest one because he actually is quoted in the paper calling
Right.
for an investigation. So what did he see?
And that's what I wanted to bring up too, because he called for the investigation, but then backtracked.
That he
later,
didn't backtrack.
right?
The
Didn't he?
meeting happened. He was then not there. I think he was on
Okay.
vacation. I don't think he was
Okay.
skipped. He was not on vacation. But
Got it.
what did he see?
Yeah.
Was the one council said, and what's crazy about that is not that Les Beach just didn't call for investigation into what Eden has did with Garrett. He
Yeah.
actually said he wanted her to be investigated from 2017
Right.
to what the actions that went along.
Correct.
I don't know.
Right. What do they know? What do they know?
What did
They're
they?
not
What
telling
did he see? He wanted it to
or
be
that? See, know, hear, right? Witness, whatever you want to say.
And once again, I will keep stressing these 2 gentlemen got these from the Winchester Star. These are quote Chief Garrett before he left. He wanted to make sure that the public had a chance. So that's why he turned it all over to council because he
Right.
knew if I emailed these all to council with one group,
Mhm.
public record.
Right.
And then whatever council members that we were talking about that were in that meeting and listening to those recordings, they heard certain things that they wanted to sweep under the rug.
Allegedly recording.
And but I'll say too, right? Because like you briefly mentioned, they were in lower positions at the time. Now a lot of these people
So that's
All right.
a good
higher position than what they were.
and that's a good thing to point out. The names that former Fire Chief Garrett mentioned that were part of that room, the department heads. I mean, we know that one of them is now our city manager.
Right. Yeah.
You can follow the track and say
Yeah,
where these people's
it's
career.
all public.
They're,
right?
they're
You can
all
see-
still here. So they're
The
all
same names keep popping up.
Yeah,
It seems
they-
like everything I've been reading, those names keep popping up, and they keep being in
Names are
positions
popping
of
up.
power.
I think Amy's over social services. So you have to ask, what is going on? What did Gary give City Council? Why the City Council decided not to just investigate? Say we investigated. I figured they would say you investigated. We didn't find no founding. Now they came out the gate, bang,
Right.
no power.
No power. Now, if I don't know if you can speak on it, but talk about this whole investigation, or lack thereof. You know what I mean? How you say like the cities what can't be investigated
Well, they didn't
on
want to be
certain things. You
investigating
know what I
body.
mean?
They didn't want
So
to be an
yeah,
investigating body. And I think you found another thing where if people don't realize they didn't want to be an investigated body on that arc. They didn't want to investigate, and they just gave it up. Now, can they investigate? Yes, they have the power.
I mean
to.
that's my thing is can't you investigate anything?
Well,
But
let me clear. When I say investigate, they can't. They don't have to physically go in there and look at it. They can get an outside company to come in and look at what's
correct.
going on.
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
think
and out yeah outside sort that's yeah.
yeah,
I
outside
get
source, and you have to ask, has that ever been done in the city?
no.
Yeah, it actually has.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but well,
I think
I
it.
stand corrected.
Yeah, it
Everyone.
has been done because in 2017, which is you had, I think Chris might have had it.
Yeah, that's the article from what February 13th,
It was
2020.
a, it
That's
was a
that
post.
talks
It
about
was
all of it.
yeah, and it was
Right.
also a post sent by City Council in 2017 where they investigated Eden for election tampering.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
election tampering.
Okay,
And
I
City
did. Yeah.
Council brought in an
Right.
outside company, and then the city released a date that the independent investigation was done, and they found Eden Freeman no wrongdoing. So it
Right.
had it.
So it's been
It's been
done
done, which
before.
also
Yeah.
goes to the question that why would Let's Reach with Chief Garrett say I want investigation to the action of the city manager going back to 2017, plus the added the Chief Garrett thing. So you see that I think Les was on to something, seeing things.
Correct. Yeah.
And,
Like
and guys, we can ask the mayor and say, "Yo, what were you doing, man? What's going on? What
right.
happened? What
But now
changed?
he's been silent.
It's silence. What's changed? It's
Yeah.
like what's going on? This is what the public doesn't know.
Well, there's a lot of good comments coming in, but the latest one is from a young lady named Megan, and she said the city is still doing shady business. So people back home know where you guys are. They know, like there's a lot of so-called shady business happening, and they're feeling like they're not being heard, and the changes that they need aren't happening because it goes
Well,
back to the
even
city manager too. It's too much power.
All right, so I'm gonna state this. War Two, and it's a shout out to the North End. War Two. I grew up there, and I got to give them a plug in.
That's
They
Terry.
that's Terry, that's North Kent, that's that whole Terry, Emily.
my
But
old hood, I grew
yeah,
up
yeah.
there.
But here's
North
the thing:
side.
for a lot of the people in the North End, for the longest time, this is
Right.
how we always felt. Our
Mhm.
voice is not heard. For many years, they had council members, Evan Clark, which is quoted in the paper, John Hill, who all these people ran unopposed.
Because who was Ward 2 rep before? Because
Yeah.
he didn't do jack.
Yeah, but
shit.
that's the but
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. Let me
Go
talk.
ahead,
But
go ahead.
they got tired of not hearing voices. So when Emily stepped up and said, "I'll run," they got a voice. They voted John Hill out and put Evan Clark out and Emily in. And then when John Hill came up, Terry said, "I want to make sure our voice is heard." She went out there, won their election, got John Hill out. We have these two strong people who want to lead their voices, go to council, and when they start challenging and asking things, I mean, you see it and it makes it look like they're crazy, but their voice is not getting heard.
Right, correct.
They're trying to. They need.
Yeah.
It's
And I can
crazy.
say, hey, those two, and they're women at that.
Oh yeah,
Two strong women. So
yeah. And we
definitely
got some smart
speaking out.
people on council. I mean, I
Right.
really do like a lot of. I've helped a lot get on council. I mean, there's no lie about it. I got pictures with Les. I got pictures with Corey. I've been there, and people know I'm a people person. I've said it when I was on election for school board. This
Right.
seat doesn't belong to them, guys. It belongs to us, the people's seat.
Right.
And right now, the people don't have a voice. So the real question is, if we want change, we got to use the power that we have, and that's FOIA information, FOIA to Garrett files or what was sent to Garrett. Ask hard questions. Get behind our councilman and say, get our voices back. Or is Elyus Wallace and B.W.O telling the truth?
Are we crazy?
Are we quoting the articles wrong? I mean, these are great questions to ask. And these is not, it's a case study, not a everybody's corrupt study. But it's a case study.
And that's what I want to be clear to. We're not calling out. We're just
we're educating,
presenting evidence based, like I guess a case study,
it's
putting out what we've found and researched.
And this one that I will say, we're at a point now where Garrett felt like what he said. I feel like I'm being disregarded. He was one person,
right?
And you're looking now 6 years later, and we have people saying that, but here they're saying it in silence.
Right.
the reward is silence now.
Mhm. Well, not anymore. Hopefully, not everyone. Speak up. So let's see some comment. Chris, you reading some of the comments?
I'm seeing all of them.
Terry's like the city is doing shady bit. Yeah. And then I think Milburn asked what shady business? Please explain. Well, where do we start?
Who's
No,
that?
Coach Milburn.
Well,
Jeff Milburn.
it does start with we can say shady, and this is what happens. What I said earlier, when you reward silence and the people who lose it, they already got outwards. They're gonna go public media, social media, newspapers. So y'all quoting just articles.
That's it.
That's why I say what goes back to what did Garrett give counsel? Hey guys, I don't know what Chief Garrett's at, but give him a shout out because he gave it to all the council and made it affordable. And
Yeah, we're gonna try to get them on.
yeah. And you
Right.
you have it right here. They found it. They're looking at the mayor Smith said, we got your stuff.
Right.
So it starts there. That's a case study. We start there and we try to see what they see. I will hope that our council members, if they're listening, that they don't know nothing about this. Emily just moved here. She's
Couple
here.
years ago.
She didn't know about Garrett. Terry's been through. She knows a little bit, but she said, "See, I'm sure Mr. Fox, he probably doesn't have a clue about this situation, or even have the clue of how this all is about." So let's hope our younger counselors will actually ask a tough question, to themselves. Chip, I love Chip. I know Chip is one of the good guys. Coach's son. He probably doesn't understand it either, and he probably wants to make change. So them people right there, Kathy, them people right, them five people can make change.
The thing is, like a lot of these new council members or whatever, they don't know. Because they're new. This happened what?
And if the system's already
7
rigged,
years ago?
well, not rigged. The system's already broken.
Right.
And the same people, like I said, the same names. Chris just said he read back there and see the same names popping up today that was back then.
Same names.
So
at the same time, we definitely, folks, we appreciate all the comments and feedback. We definitely want to continue to let Elyus elaborate more further because he's been in it. I feel like we've never been heard. We've never had a voice. And then, Philip Swanson, there's other people on there. They got good comments, but I can't see them. They're going so fast on my end. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So we can read it if, we don't get to it during the show. But we appreciate everybody. And like we said, we're going to put a lot of this out there on the public, on the page after this, for you guys can read it and watch footage and everything for yourself.
Right. I mean, I try to keep up with the comments because, like I said, we need a sidekick or something just to read comments. It's for us to keep up with that. But let's see. Philip Swanson, welcome. He said, "How many citizens stay silent because they either feel ignored or afraid of reprisals of some sort?" In addition to Chief Garrett. So if you want to answer that question, you don't have to. But
I will answer it because everything everybody's feeling is I'm being disregarded. It goes back to the articles you're reading. It goes back to what he gave counsel and silence. And I just want to be clear. Trust matters. But trust paired with verification, that's what has to happen. We have to have trust with verification with our city manager. Because when evidence is set aside in favor of a more convenient narrative, what gets rewarded isn't leadership, guys. It's silence. And silence is not accountability.
Right. And then let's go to Jada Sloan. She has she lived on the North End 95% of her life, 36 years. She's talking about another comment, so because talking about John Hill. She's like, most of us didn't even know John Hill, who he was, and he did not do much.
And I want to give a shout out
because somebody praised John Hill.
Well, and I'm not saying John Hill was a bad guy, but was it a voice? Like, there's a reason why North End feels absent for so long.
So he was over Ward 2 before Terry and Emily and them got in there.
They came in.
And nobody, I feel like as long as I've been away from Winchester, nobody's ever wanted to help the North End.
Oh,
and there's bigger reasons behind that we don't have to get into. The listening public knows the truth.
And we're going, and I'm loving the energy. I love it. And this is what happens when there's no transparency. This is what happens.
Right.
And I love it because the citizens there. And I hope the people out there, we could talk about why we're not getting our voices heard. But there's 2 people on council. There's 3 people, 4 people on council who can change all this. 5 people could change this. I know 2 of them right now are working hard to try to do that, but they can't do it alone.
Right.
So we have to, we citizens have to decide to either search the information, use our FOIA, and get our voices back, or we all just agree that we're just not going to hear our voices heard. I'm here. I'm only one vote in the whole thing, but I'm willing to fight for anything for the citizens. And
Right.
understand, this is not me saying council's horrible. I just think that the council just made a bad mistake and just can't get themselves out of their own way.
Right.
It's time to finally right the wrong, man. We gotta make a change. Like nobody's gonna have enough power or authority to do anything. The voices won't be heard. It's a lose lose for everybody down there except for the people in power.
And I will be clear. Another reason why y'all were able to get me to come on here, because those who know me know I'm always, I try to avoid the public light because it's not about me. This is definitely about the citizens. But the reason why is that when your city manager has that much power, the city manager controls the budget.
Correct.
They're the person that controls the budget and works with council and trying to decide out how to the budget should work and where money should be allocated to who gets it. So that does affect your school system. If the city manager don't like the school,
everything.
yeah,
Affects
he
everybody.
don't have to give money. If the
Right.
and that's all I'm asking. I'll ask any council member if you hear uh, the finance department speaking and you ask questions, are you fully thinking they're giving you the full answer, or they're giving you answers because the city manager wants you to give them the answer?
Right.
Like that's where you don't have verification. How do you trust what you see?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Mike G. Let's read what he's got. He's lived on North End, of course, too. Welcome, Mr. Jenkins. I started going to council meetings back in September. I've been raising hell. I told them they don't care about the North End. Emily and Sloan are the only two that seem to care.
Well,
You wanna
and
touch
I'm
on
a
that?
and as you see, the North End. Is,
And I'm sorry. And what I love is people are on here, guys, have the same energy. Like a lot
Yeah.
of go to your council members, whatever.
Well,
Like some people.
and understand that it's not just Ward 2. You have all. It's 9 counties. All
Right.
of them have a say. Like
Because what we have four
what?
wards, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Broken
So
down. to four.
whoever, it's not like, oh, Emily were just representing Ward 2. They will bring Ward 2's concerns, but
Yeah,
they
to
also
the
have to
table.
make decisions for the whole city.
The whole
Yeah.
thing.
And that's where you have to go back to the past made a whole decision that the city manager can't be oversighted by council.
Right.
That
Right.
decision alone is what's jamming us up today. Silence.
Right.
So if you want to break the silence, we got to get the new council members to get back together and change it.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
it.
Yeah, I agree.
But we're gonna be doing this over and over. I'm never gonna be heard. I'm telling you, silence. Y'all made a great title for this. What silence is rewarded.
We hope so.
No, I hope not. I don't want silence.
Yeah, it shouldn't be rewarded.
It shouldn't be rewarded.
You're right.
So if you ask me, I think we just, if the people really want to, let's go ask our council members to get their voices back.
Yeah. And like you say, it starts with us. You know, the Winchester citizens.
Get
I
lucky
mean,
into Garrett file. See what if he allegedly.
That's what I really want to see be reopened.
See what's there.
right.
I've
Well,
always
that's
been
why
curious.
we-
What I've always been curious. Every firefighter's been curious for a long time. That what
What really happened?
what happened? But what happened to make them come out and say, "Well, you're not gonna y'all got rid of y'all didn't even say you were gonna." Y'all said, "Yeah, we ain't touching it."
Right. Right. yeah.
Oh man. So
like
I'm not a citizen of Winchester. I haven't been for a long time, man. But no lie, I'm the kind of individual, and I think those that know me very well. I'm not worried about the backlash or this and that and losing jobs. Everything like that comes and goes. These kind of things need to be brought to light. That's what we're doing now. And people need to step up and try to make a difference. I see tons of comments about that, and people need to get together. Y'all got to stick together. There's too much division, and that's what's created on purpose.
Right.
Y'all got to stick together. Because I can't come back and do what I got to do and knock down doors and go have meetings and talks with people. But you guys really got to get involved in that community.
and part of that is education. If you don't understand what's going on, you
Mhm.
don't know. And that's why
Right.
I came up here and brought up the Garrett file and kind of walked through. Because I guarantee you, there's probably council members looking at themselves like, or texting each other like, "Is this true?"
Right.
They're probably hitting up Melissa right now. This happened.
Look, somebody said Elyus for mayor. There we go.
But and what I like is y'all did find that meeting that I think it was February 13th
Yeah, I think
meeting
February
archive.
13th,
And like
yeah.
I said, I will tell you this: if you want to know when they put it up, these are articles. The articles have date and time. Garrett did a great job of laying it out in that article, so you can actually trace the whole thing. You can go to the city page, go to the archives, pull up the old city council meeting, and inform your own opinion. But you get educated that way, and then you can ask these hard questions to our council.
Yeah, get your facts straight too.
Yeah.
It's out there. It's
Or we just keep
right.
going to the podium and scream and yell and voice our opinion, and walk out the room and realize that that position is not affected by it.
Right, right,
When you say you're feeling silent, I
right,
get you.
right. So, Elias, in closing here, what should everyone take from this? You, our listeners
I hope
and
everybody,
citizens out there of Winchester.
I, and not just the citizens, our small business too.
Well,
I want to keep our business because they're just small business is just as much a backroom. Selling
right. Oh
burgers,
yeah, yeah.
selling
I
burgers,
totally agree.
T-bone, all these
Because the
small
same way they silence the so-called little people, they gonna silence the small businesses.
Right.
they smile them too. And what I want to take is that I was raised by this community by some great people.
Mm-hmm.
Great people. Some people who sacrificed their life. Some people who are not here. I've been blessed by a lot of people, and that from Friendship Fire Hall, I love everyone that ever touched my life. The
Right.
halls of the schools, to everything. And what I want people to take about this, I gained nothing from this. I gained nothing,
Right.
and I'm being honest, I gained nothing. I can literally leave here. Me and my wife can move out of the city and start a new life and be fine. I worry about the ones who can't move, the ones who don't have a voice,
Right.
that really don't have a voice, the elderly who don't know what's going on. They're affected by their voice not being heard. So it's on to us who is able to do it. Speak it.
Right.
That's what I want people to get. If you're able to voice it, ask it. If you're able to investigate and go get these files, if you're able to hold council fire, if you're able to rally behind Emily and all these councilmen,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can make real change and be okay with there might have been a mistake. We don't have to bash it. They're human. They might have made a real mistake. But the biggest mistake is going to be how long we keep our mouths quiet.
There you go.
So,
Man, well said, Elias. Love you, man. I can tell you truly care. Like I say, I grew up on the north end as well. I was Richards Avenue by the bowling alley. Grew up, down on that end. So I get where you're coming from too, man. And everybody else, the citizens, like you say, look out for everybody.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just the ones at the top
Yeah.
all the time, but
and I know that there's a lot. I see it on their comments a lot about what's happening with the Winchester PD situation.
Mhm.
I'll be honest with you. If you look at that story or listen to what you see,
Mhm.
silence, also somebody grieving something that they have no way to grieve to. It's the
Right.
same thing that we saw with Gary. It's the same thing.
Right, right. Well, Chris, you seem in you reading something?
I'm paying attention to everybody. So,
Oh,
Mr. Anderson, I'm a big believer in all the systems are broken. There's corruption everywhere, but we're from Winchester. We're dealing with Winchester. And it seems like Milburn has a lot to say too. And he wants the city council to have discussions about all this and put things on their agenda. So Tony, we might have to reach out to Coach Milburn after this too. He seems to be involved. You know what I mean? Or some way he cares. So
too. You know,
Yeah,
They wanna-
like I said, if you want to know more about the Garrett and know what the fire and rescue is going through, I mean, Alan Ballish is the president of the fire union. And I'm sure I can talk to him. He's going to tell you kind of more
Right.
he deals with the day-to-day council. And I would love to keep educating the public, but like I said, Coach Milburn, he's out there pushing it, but he's
Mhm.
got to find a direction where it goes. And he's saying some things, and he needs to keep pushing.
Right,
I
keep
think
pushing.
keep
Yeah.
pushing. But the biggest
hey
thing is,
Tony, we need to get a number for Garrett.
good luck
Oh,
finding him. Chief Garrett.
Because if we can try to get him on, man. We'll give him a public space to speak.
Hey,
But let's we don't always have to get him to speak. He left his words in a public document for us.
Yep.
right, right.
Like that's the thing. Our voices are not being heard. I mean, I'm sure that people are probably going to go after that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, like you said,
I think that
it's all
it's
public
gonna be,
record.
and like I said, you can ask the hard questions to your city councilmen. They're there. They should be
Mhm.
able to answer why Corey Sullivan, why did you trust Eden over everything so much that you
Correct.
gave up our voices.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you
Elias,
guys.
in closing, you got anything for the community? Yeah.
All right. Hopefully, I gave y'all some tea that you're looking for. I know it was a lot of speculation, but I gave you fact information that these gentlemen found. Thank you guys. Please look into it. Council people, please look into the policies that have been created, and let's get our voices back, and let's be transparent, and let's
Right.
move forward. Let's keep moving forward. If not, we stay divided, we're going to fall.
Can't agree more, Elijah. You said it best. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning
Thanks for
in.
everybody tuning in.
Chris, you got anything, in closing?
Yeah, you and everybody in these comments that care and the community, y'all need to go out to those meetings. Like you said, your voice ain't gonna be heard if you don't go out there. Somebody made in the comments earlier, closed mouths don't get fed. And I said that to my boss yesterday. That's the truth.
Right.
Closed mouths do not get fed. You can't be just sitting at home twiddling your thumbs thinking something's gonna change if you don't go out there and try to make a change. We're all grown now for the most part to where you got to understand nothing in life is going to change unless you really go out there and try to make a difference. And y'all got to stick together. So show up to them council meetings on Tuesday. Do what you got to do. Tony, you too. Y'all got to get out there.
You said it's strength in numbers.
Straight, there you go. Strength in numbers. That's the truth.
Yeah.
The citizens will always outnumber the rest, but if we
Right.
don't stick together and do something, then it's not going to work.
And once you start challenging the system, as Garrett did, the system's going to have to respond somewhere. It's either going to give you transparency or it's going to give you silence.
Right.
That's what I ask people to do. Go challenge the system. That's what you have. That's what we're supposed to do. I mean, we are paying taxes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I want to know where my money's going, what you're doing with it. That's all I know.
But going forward, I want to close and say, I love everybody. Thank you guys. I love the community. Hopefully we can move forward and get some transparency going and for the better. I
Right.
don't want to wait. I don't want this mindset of we need to wait until November to change it. I've already said we've tried that. We got 2 under there. It doesn't change unless we fix the broken system. I think Chris is going to call it a different name, but a broken system in my eyes.
Corrupt.
Right. Chris,
I call it how I see it.
I say it's broken.
Right.
I'll let y'all have that.
Corrupt, broken, whatever. Same to me. But hey, Elias, thanks for joining us,
Hey,
man. I
thanks for
really
having me.
appreciate it. And
Great.
come on anytime you want. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. Hey, do your due diligence. Everyone, get out there, all right?
And I hope B.W.O will keep pushing too. I really do.
Oh, we will.
I will hope you keep pushing and don't let me and Chris, I'm gonna use this quote and I'm gonna get off here. I didn't want this to be a moment. I didn't want this to be a one moment thing. I don't like moment.
Right.
I want this to be a movement.
Me neither. Yeah, I'm with you.
I want this to be a movement. I want
Absolutely.
I want this to be a movement for change, for voices, so we don't have this mistake. Because what the mistakes in the past are affecting the future, and the mistakes we make today is going to affect the future of our kids and this community.
Right.
So let this be not a moment, but a movement. I'm done.
Well, hey, there you go, folks. All right. Until next time, Chris.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody tuning in, listening. Y'all got anything y'all want to talk about, just reach out to any of us, especially Tony and myself, because the last not trying to be involved. We appreciate you getting on, you know what I mean, and giving some insight on everything, because everything we research, you know what I mean.
Right.
You've been through a lot of it because you've worked with some of these folks and been involved, like in that way. Not, like you said, not the good or bad, but it needs to be out there. And for the community, man, y'all got to stand up. Y'all got to get out there and do something, or it's going to continuously be this, and I'm going to continuously hear that, and then wonder why people were like, "Oh, you should move back." For what? The system's corrupt, or it's broken. Like, what am I going? What am I going to be able to do? Come down there, like, you know what I mean? I'm not for that. I don't like any of that stuff. As far as people ain't being heard and don't have a voice, so please get up, say something. Y'all go out there and support Emily and Terry and everybody else, man, and go out there and go ask Sullivan and Veach and all these people what's going on.
Right.
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 Marvin Gaye said,
All right,
"What's
Chris.
going
Good. Yeah, like Marvin. What did he say?
What's going on? Can you do me a
What's
favor,
going
Tony?
on? Yep.
Yes.
Start your this guy. All right, everybody. We're out. We'll see you all next time.